Have you ever wondered why Surah Fatiha holds such a pivotal place in the daily lives of millions? At the very heart of the Quran, nestled as its opening chapter, is Surah Fatiha, a passage comprising 7 verses that resonate deeply within the fabric of Islamic worship. Known affectionately as the opening or the opener, this surah is not merely an introduction but a fundamental component of the daily prayers or salah recited in every unit. What makes Surah Fatiha so essential? It acts as a gateway, a starting point that encapsulates the essence of the Quran's guidance. Each verse flows into the next, weaving a tapestry of supplication and praise that connects the reciter with the divine. Its frequent recitation in salah underscores its significance, embedding its teachings and blessings into the rhythm of daily life. This surah serves as both a prayer and an introduction to the Quran, setting the stage for a deeper connection with each verse that follows. Let's dive into the first verse. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. This verse, known as Bismillah, is a profound invocation, packed with meaning and intent, setting the tone for everything that follows. It's not just an introduction, it encapsulates a universal principle of seeking blessings through divine grace. Starting with in the name of, we open our actions, our recitations, and indeed our very lives under the aegis of Allah. This phrase is not merely a formality but a declaration of intent and faith. It signifies the recognition of a higher power overseeing all actions and an acknowledgement that nothing can commence without His will. Moving to the divine attributes, the most compassionate and the most merciful, each word resonates with deep significance. The attribute compassionate in Arabic is Ar-Rahman, which conveys a form of mercy that is immediate and all-encompassing, encompassing the entirety of creation without distinction. It's a mercy that is vast and inclusive, reflecting a universal benevolence. Then we have the most merciful, or Ar-Rahim, which implies a specialized, continuous mercy reserved for the believers, a reassurance of ongoing support and guidance throughout one's spiritual journey. By invoking these names of Allah, we are reminded of the boundless and ongoing mercy that is available to us at every moment. It's a call to align our actions with divine will, ensuring that our deeds are blessed and that we remain conscious of the moral and ethical dimensions of our conduct. This opening line not only sanctifies one's actions but also reminds us of the infinite compassion and mercy of Allah. Moving forward to the central request of Surah Fatiha, guide us on the straight path. This phrase, resonating at the core of the surah, is a profound call for direction in the maze of life's complexities. The straight path is not merely a road built from earth and stone, but a metaphorical route designed by divine instruction. It represents a journey of righteousness and ethical living, where each step is aligned with the principles of truth and justice. In the context of the Quran, the straight path is more than a physical or moral guide. It is a spiritual compass that directs believers towards a life in harmony with the will of God. It connects every aspect of existence, from the mundane to the spiritual, guiding adherents in their daily actions and decisions. This path is marked not by visible signs, but by the virtues of compassion, honesty, and piety. The plea, "Guide us on the straight path," underscores a universal human quest for guidance. It acknowledges the inherent challenges and temptations that accompany human life, and expresses a deep yearning for divine support in overcoming these. This request is not a passive wish, but an active declaration of the seeker's commitment to pursuing a life of virtue under the guidance of divine wisdom. This pursuit is not solitary. It is a collective echo from the hearts of the faithful, a shared aspiration that strengthens the bonds within the community by uniting everyone under a common goal. It is a reminder that while the path may be narrow and the distractions many, there is strength and solace in the shared journey towards righteousness. As we delve deeper into the essence of this plea, we recognize it as a dynamic interaction between the human and the divine. It is a conscious choice to walk in light rather than darkness, to choose elevation over degradation. Asking for guidance, we are continually seeking to align our actions with divine will, striving for balance and correctness in our decisions. The surah concludes with a plea for help and favor, the path of those who have received your grace, not the path of those who have brought down wrath, nor of those who wander astray. In these profound words, the seeker expresses a deep yearning to follow in the footsteps of those favored by divine grace. This isn't merely a request for personal success or avoidance of hardship. It's a plea for spiritual alignment and moral clarity. Those who have received God's grace are exemplars of faith and virtue, embodying the qualities that we too aspire to develop. Conversely, the verse articulates a clear desire to steer clear of two distinctly perilous paths, that of those who have incurred divine wrath and those who wander astray. These paths symbolize the consequences of turning away from ethical mandates and spiritual truths. They serve as stark reminders that our choices have profound spiritual repercussions. Divine grace, as mentioned here, isn't arbitrary. It's a testament to the benevolence that follows sincere effort and righteous living. It's about aligning one's actions with divine will, which in turn cultivates inner peace and external harmony. Those who live by these principles are often shielded from the turmoil that accompanies moral lapses. In contrast, divine wrath isn't merely about punishment. It's a corrective, a dramatic reminder of the misalignment between human actions and spiritual expectations. It highlights the importance of accountability in our spiritual journey. Similarly, the concept of wandering astray speaks to the subtle dangers of losing focus. It isn't always about making blatantly wrong choices, but sometimes about neglecting the right ones. Misguidance can manifest through a series of small, seemingly insignificant decisions that cumulatively lead us away from our spiritual moorings. This plea encapsulates a desire for positive emulation and a caution against the consequences of moral and spiritual negligence. It invites us to reflect deeply on the direction of our lives, urging us to choose a path illuminated by divine light, rather than one overshadowed by spiritual oblivion. How does Surah Fatiha influence daily life and spiritual practice? Every verse of Surah Fatiha holds a profound depth that resonates through the daily lives of many, guiding actions and intentions with its timeless wisdom. Reflecting on these verses can transform ordinary moments into reflections of spiritual awareness and growth. For instance, consider how Surah Fatiha starts with the praise of the Creator, setting a tone of gratitude and humility. When one begins any task, whether it's as mundane as starting the car in the morning or as significant as beginning a new job, invoking the same spirit of gratitude can profoundly shift one's perspective. It's about acknowledging that every moment is sustained by a higher power, which fosters a sense of gratitude and purpose in even the smallest of actions. Then, there's the plea for guidance along the straight path. In the face of life's myriad decisions, from the trivial to the transformative, reciting this verse can serve as a reminder to seek divine guidance. It encourages one to pause and consider the moral and ethical dimensions of their choices, promoting a life led not by mere impulse, but by enlightened decision-making. Furthermore, Surah Fatiha's request for help in navigating the path of those who have earned favor, rather than those who have gone astray, is particularly relevant in today's complex world. This can be a silent mantra for personal integrity and resilience in the face of challenges and moral dilemmas. It's about aspiring to emulate the best of characters and making choices that align with the highest ideals of truth and justice. Regular reflection on these verses encourages a mindful approach to life's challenges. It acts as a spiritual compass, always pointing the believer back to their core values and the fundamentals of their faith. This regular reflection deepens one's spiritual practice and brings clarity and peace to the everyday hustle. Incorporating the essence of Surah Fatiha into daily life not only enriches spiritual practice, but also fosters a mindful approach to everyday challenges and interactions. To encapsulate, Surah Fatiha is not just the opening chapter of the Quran, it is a comprehensive guide for a fulfilling spiritual life. In our exploration, we've journeyed through each verse, unveiling layers of meaning that intertwine to present a foundation of faith. Each line of this surah serves as a beacon, guiding the believer through the trials and tribulations of life. From invoking the Lord of all worlds to seeking guidance on the straight path, Surah Fatiha encapsulates a prayer that resonates with every aspect of a believer's day. We've delved into the themes of mercy and guidance, and how these are not just overarching concepts but daily companions, aiding the believer in making righteous choices. It is these choices, illuminated by the surah, that shape a life aligned with divine will. With each recitation, Surah Fatiha reiterates the core values of faith, guides us back to the righteous path, and reminds us of the endless mercy of Allah.